For most of us out there, when you hear somebody talking about an Ego hedge trimmer, you're probably thinking of this right here, the HT2400 or the HT2411 if you're talking about the kit that comes with the battery and a charger. But in this video, we're going to show you another hedge trimmer from Ego that has slowly become a pretty popular unit, and it's a very beneficial unit to anybody that's got some trees to trim and tall shrubs and stuff like that. And that is this right here, the HTA2000. This is the articulating hedge trimmer attachment from Ego. Now, this HTA2000 hedge trimmer attachment can be acquired in several ways. You can buy it as an individual attachment, like we did, or you can buy it in a kit with a power head and a battery and a charger, or you can buy it in a kit with the hedge trimmer attachment and just the power head. So quite a few ways there you can obtain one of these attachments, and I'll be honest with you, this is a great deal when you compare this articulating hedge trimmer attachment to the ones from Stihl, Husqvarna, or Echo. This thing, you're going to see here, it does a great job, but just by price alone, this is a great deal because those other guys, their articulating hedge trimmer attachments are really up there in price. So this one here, we bought the attachment separate. We already had the power head when we bought a kit with an edger, and we have a pole saw, but there's just some branches that are easier to cut with this hedge trimmer attachment, as you'll see in our video here, than you are the pole saw. So take a watch here to our video, and you'll see we have a lot of uses for this thing, and we're just giving you a glimpse here of a few places where we were able to put this thing to work. First up here are some low-hanging branches on a maple tree. We just want to trim these back a little bit so that they're not smacking us in the face when we're driving through there with the tractor or catching on the rollover protection on a zero turn or on a compact tractor. And normally if you're using the pole saw, you wouldn't be able to do this because these branches would just keep bending and flexing around, and the pole saw would take forever to cut through them if it ever did. Usually what you'd have to do with a pole saw is you would have to cut back where the branch was sturdier, which means you're taking off a lot more than you really have to. Here in this clip, we're playing around at one of our grapevines, and you can see here how you can adjust the angle of the hedge trimmer blade, and you can go right across the top of your hedges or your grapevine, as you see us doing here. The other thing about this is really nice is that you can then straighten that hedge trimmer out. And let's say instead of a grapevine, this was something with briars on it. Instead of using the handheld hedge trimmer like the HT2400 or a gas-powered model from one of the other brands, with this you can stay back a ways. So if there was briars or something on there, you can see that you can stand back a good 2 or 3 feet at least, and you can trim this stuff down no problem, and then get closer as you go without any worries of getting jabbed or debris flying back at you as easily as it would if you were right on top of this stuff, trimming it with a handheld hedge trimmer. Right, here's another perfect scenario where this hedge trimmer attachment, the Ego HTA2000, is just going to be easier to use than your regular handheld hedge trimmer or a pole saw. And that is on a tree like this with the weeping branches. They're real thin, they're real wispy, and again, we want to get them trimmed up just so they're not smacking us in the face when we're driving under them with a tractor or walking through there or something. And with a pole saw, again, you'd have to take off way more than you really wanted to because you'd have to go up there pretty high to get to where the branch is more solid. With a handheld hedge trimmer, you'd be holding that thing up over the top of your head. Everything would be falling right down in your face or on your head, and it would be very uncomfortable to do that if you had to do quite a few branches. So this makes it really simple. And now this is one of those, well, just because it's battery powered, it makes it a lot easier. But you see we can reach these long branches here, and we don't have to cut them all the way back in by the thick part of the branch. We don't have to cut them back in by the trunk. We can leave them hanging out a little bit, but we can just kind of even everything up. And because this is battery powered, we can hold this up there, not too far away from our head or our face, and not have to worry about all the exhaust fumes or anything like that. You can see these branches flexing as we're trying to cut through them with a hedge trimmer. Now imagine doing that with a pole saw. It would be way more time consuming, stressful, and just a pain. This makes it so much easier. You can just shear these branches right off in no time. So you can see with all this tall stuff that we have around our place that needs to be trimmed up, we're going to get a lot of use out of this HTA2000 hedge trimmer attachment from Ego. using it with our powerhead that came with our Ego Edger. So if you already have the Ego battery-powered handheld hedge trimmer, whether it's the HT2400 or one of the other variations, or you have a gas-powered hedge trimmer, this might still be something you ought to take a look at if you have tall hedges or you have long rows of hedges or these tall tree branches like you're seeing us trim up here very easily and quickly with this hedge trimmer attachment on the Ego Powerhead. Definitely worth checking out. This attachment or the kits with the attachment, a powerhead, battery, charger, all that stuff, they are available at your local independent Ego dealers, Ace Hardware, and of course right now at the Lowe's stores. Probably other places you can find them too if you check around, but those are the main sources for any kind of Ego power equipment. So that's going to do it for this video here. We got to get back out here and trim some more of these bushes and shrubs and tree branches. So if you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to our channel, and thank you for watching.